If you still don't think that the markets are rigged, explain to me what's going on right now. Hey, my name's Devin. I've been in crypto for over 10 years, and this is your daily market news and analysis. It is February the 2nd, 2025, and people are freaking out. Bitcoin on the low of the day got as low as $96,000. But this is the crazy thing. Like, I want you to take note and take inventory of all of the fear, all of the uncertainty, all of the doubt, all of the anxiety in the markets right now. What is the narrative that's being perpetuated right now? That all of this crashing that is happening right now, all this red that is in the market today is because of tariffs, tariff wars. That's what's the narrative being perpetuated. What does that have to do with crypto? It doesn't. It literally does not. Nothing. But this is what the puppet master does. They look for any excuse possible to manipulate retail. How do they do that? They do that with fear, uncertainty, doubt, frustration, greed, euphoria. They manipulate you using your emotions. And this is why I like Wyckoff so much. Richard D. Wyckoff created this method of analyzing the market 100 years ago, and it still works today. And what was the fundamental realization? That stock prices trends were driven primarily by institutional and other large operators who manipulate stock prices in their favor. A 5.5% correction, and people are absolutely losing their minds. And the crazy thing is, 3 weeks ago, when we were at $89,000, January 13, 2025, when we were at $89,000, not even 3 weeks ago, if I told you that we went from 89,000 and now we broke below 100,000 and you're mad, you're freaking out, you would have laughed at me. Or how about this? How about how numb we become to 100,000? How about in October? How about in October when we were chilling at $60,000? How would you have felt in October if I would have told you that we are going to crash just 3 months later below 100K? And you're going to be freaking out. We were chanting and pumping and hype about getting 100K. And now, because of some narrative news, market manipulation, people are freaking out about being at $98,000. Oh, how desensitized so quickly we become to 100K. So let me try to give you guys some context and let you know exactly what's happening right now. In the next few days, you're going to see a narrative that's going to pop up that is probably better than the tariff one, because this isn't good enough for this type of correction. There's going to be a narrative that's going to pop up in the next few days. That's going to mark the bottom, right? Because we have the chart, trade the news, and you will lose. The narrative is going to show up in the next few days, and that's going to mark the local bottom, and we're not going to go any lower. So let me give you some context and some perspective of what is actually happening and where are we actually at. We have been in this range for 90 days. That means that this is 90 days of support. We have broken out of this range and we are back testing the range. On the daily body closes, we are sitting on top of it. That's it. As long as we still hold in this range, nothing is different. In fact, I would argue that nothing is different. And yet again, you are being manipulated by your emotions. Those that are disciplined, have a plan, are consistent, and regulate their emotions are going to make a fortune off of those that are undisciplined, that don't have a plan, that are emotional, that are not rational. You will literally make a fortune off of those that are not. So nothing about Bitcoin is concerning at all. We might get to 95K if we're lucky. But honestly, the way that this candle is on top of the 100 moving average here, this is probably the end of it. We'll see. But either way, this was our selling climax. We are not going lower than that. Same thing with the total too. Higher highs and higher lows. We are on top of the 100 moving average. Again, nothing is different. Literally nothing is different. We are still within the same range. If you can't handle a 10, 15, 20% correction and you can't regulate your emotions in a way where you are panic selling at this point, listen, I have news for you. You do not deserve 10, 20x gains. If you can't handle a little bit of market manipulation and you can't regulate your emotions to the point that a 10% correction or even a 20% correction fudge you out of your bag, you trade your inheritance for a can of beans, listen, I got news for you. You don't deserve a 1020x. Right now, it's time to nut up or shut up. Right now, I'm looking at Bitcoin on the 3-hour chart, as you can see, and look at the RSI. Look how deep we are. We have not been this deep. The last time that we were this deep was October. Right before what happened? Oh, I don't know. What happened? A 1x? A 1x? That was the last time that we were this deep. All right? As long as this look at all this support. If you think that we're just going to crash right through this support the first time, you're crazy. And there's absolutely no, like, literally, think about this practically. You actually think that tariff wars is the reason for this correction? Come on, bro. How many times have we been a part of this? All right, so what should you do? Right now, it's time to nut up or shut up. Find your fundamental coins. Is there anything different about them? Is the dev different? Is the team different? Is the inflation different? No? Okay. Black Friday sales. Get a notebook. Regulate your emotions. Have a plan. Stick with your plan. Dollar cost average. And follow me for more. You savages.
Damn hustling, 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 hustling,
It's your
hustling,
boy,
hustling,
Ski.
hustling, hustling.